In the previous part, I've explained how to connect from Android to MySQL through PHP. I didn't explain about the PHP files there. Let me explain the PHP files. All these files are available under c:/XAMPP slash htdocs Android Connect Android underscore connect folder. So dbconfig.php is a simple file which will talk about what is your username for the database, password, name of the database, and where is it hosted. In our case, it's a local host. Next, let's talk about get all products. In order to access all these products which are available, if you go to our Android program, you will see all products activity. Here we are actually accessing this program here, get all products.php, this file, okay, which is available here. So here we are creating what is called as an array, which we call it as a response. There's a name given, and we are going to include another file which is called db_connect underscore connect. db underscore connect is this one. The use of db underscore connect is that's a class called db underscore connect, and this is the constructor, this is the destructor. You want to connect it, you want to close it. When you want to connect, it's actually going to call this connect method here. It will use the dbconfig, which is our file which we have discussed earlier, and then it's going to connect to the database. MySQL connect db server, which is available here, the db server, with the username and password, which you access from here, username, password. After that, you say selecting the database, MySQL, select MySQL select db, and you give the database name. So it's connecting to the database, and it will return to you the connection cursor. And when you disconnect everything, it is going to call the destructor, which will close the close, which will actually close the database connectivity. So let's continue here. So we are creating an object here for db connect, which we have seen it is available here, the class db connect, creating an object of it. We are sending a query, MySQL underscore query, select star from product, so means we are actually reading everything from products, get it under the results variable. Now we are going to access the results variable and see if the number of rows available is greater than 0, meaning it returns something. If it did not return anything, we will go here. Basically what you do, if it did not return anything, for this array, which is called as response, we will store success, this is the key, this is a value, a 0, and the message as no products found. And we will actually encode into JSON format the response, okay? And that will be the return given to the database, return given to the Android program. So when you actually access the program here under localhost slash Android underscore connect slash get all products.php, okay, this is what it returns. So if it is nothing, it would have returned success as 0 here. So let's continue here. So if there were more than there were one or more records from the database, you will do this. You will say response of products, you create an array of it, then you will fetch the results, okay, fetch the results from here, from the query, and you'll go row by row, you will access them, and you say here create a products array called as products, and product of PID, row of PID. Actually we are accessing the value of PID here. Then for name, you store the name value, price, you price value, and so on and so forth. And if you see in our program here, here you get the PID, the name, the price, description, created at and updated at. So all these values will be stored. Then what you do is you will store them, this product here, the product array, into what is called as products of response, okay? Response is again an array, okay? So you're storing them, and you also store the response of success equal to 1, meaning it is successful. Then you use JSON encode, which will convert it into JSON format. So this is what will be retrieved by the Android program, which is a Java program, okay? And then it will be shown using JSON parser, which you have seen earlier. So if you want to create a product, again it has to check. It creates a response here again, checks whether the request, whatever things are set or not. If you have set all these, it can add them. It will read them by using the $_post, name, price, description, whatever you have typed in. Here again we need the db connect, which will actually use the db config. You create an object, you send a query. Here the query is insert them into the database, okay? This is insert. If the result is successful, you say it is successful by saying message is successful, success is 1, and the message says product successfully created. If not, you say something happened. And you can also return them as a JSON message back to the server. Okay, so you can see we also have yet another else here, which is in response to if you did not set the fields correctly, if you did not put the name or the price or the description correctly, which are default important fields, then it will tell you you have not filled in the fields, please fill the required fields. So if you want to delete a product, it's also similar. You have to read the process ID, the PID. Then again, we create DB connect. We use a DB connect, and then we create an object. We send delete. If it is that deleted, then you say successful. If it is not, you say not. Otherwise, you say something is missing. And get product details. Here again, you create an array. You can use a DB connect, which is again going to use a DB config. You have an object for DB connect, and then you will get the ID, and then you send the query for a specific item, and you get the details. Here you are getting the detail. If it's not empty, you get the details like, and you will also send them as a response back to the server. Okay, these are the things you are doing in this case here. Okay, it's similar to get all products, but it's a little bit different because it gets details of each one of them. And I think this is all for the whole coding.